Ladies and gentlemen, now I need y'all to listen to me real close right now. See, everybody want to be successful. Everybody got big dreams, fancy goals, visions of the good life. But let me tell you something. Success ain't some magical thing that just shows up one day like a package from Amazon. Nah, it don't work like that. Success is built daily, not someday, not when the stars align. Every single day. Now, I ain't here to sell you no secret formula or some overnight shortcut. What I'm here to give you are 7 simple, powerful daily actions that'll move you closer and closer to the life you were born to live. So buckle up, grab a pen, take some notes, because if you do these 7 things every day, I promise you, your life won't be the same a year from now. You ready? Let's get into it. When you open your eyes in the morning, you're not just waking up, you're stepping into a new opportunity. Every single day is a blank page, and how you begin that day sets the tone for how the rest of it unfolds. That's why winning the morning is one of the most powerful actions you can take on your journey to success. The morning is your foundation, it's your reset button, it's your launch pad. And most people don't realize they're losing the day before it even starts, simply because they never take control of the morning hours. Let me break it down. The most successful people in the world, from athletes to CEOs to artists, have one thing in common. They own their mornings. They don't hit snooze. They don't roll over and scroll through social media for 30 minutes. They don't start the day in reaction mode. Instead, they have a routine, a system, a rhythm that gets their mind and body aligned with their goals. Because success isn't just about what you do, it's about how you show up. And if you show up to your day half awake, scattered and unprepared, you can't expect high-level results. When you start your morning with purpose, you create momentum. And momentum is everything. The small decisions you make in those first 60, 90 minutes of your day can impact your productivity, your mindset, your energy, and your attitude. It's like setting the GPS for where you want your life to go. If you punch in the wrong direction in the morning, you'll spend the rest of the day off course. But if you start strong, with discipline and clarity, the rest of your day starts falling into place like dominoes. Think about it. If you wake up and immediately do something that feeds your mind, like reading or journaling, you've already created mental clarity. If you move your body, even for just 10, 15 minutes, you generate energy. That's right, energy doesn't just show up, you create it. And if you take 5 minutes to visualize your goals or review your plan for the day, you're not wandering through the hours. You're walking with intention. And that intention adds up. That's how the ordinary becomes extraordinary, through consistent, intentional beginnings. Now, here's the part most people don't want to hear. It takes discipline. Building a powerful morning doesn't happen overnight. You've got to train yourself, just like you train a muscle. And yes, at first, it might feel uncomfortable. Waking up early, putting down the phone, doing something productive instead of something easy. It's going to challenge you. But that's the point. Growth lives on the other side of discomfort. Every morning you conquer that urge to stay comfortable. You're training yourself for greatness. A choke of greatness. And here's something else. Your morning is one of the few parts of the day you can fully control. Once you step into the chaos of work, responsibilities, other people's agendas, your control gets tested. But those early hours, that's your time. That's when you set the pace. That's when you tell the universe, I'm not waiting on success. I'm chasing it. It doesn't have to be complicated. You don't need a 2-hour routine with 20 steps. It can be simple, consistent, and powerful. Just a few intentional actions stacked together. The key is to make it non-negotiable, whether it's 15 minutes or an hour. The time you give yourself in the morning is an investment. It's like putting gas in your tank before a road trip. You don't get far running on empty, and you sure don't want to break down halfway through the day because you didn't start right. Setting clear intentions is one of the most underrated tools for creating a successful life. Most people wake up and go through their day on autopilot, reacting to whatever comes at. They check emails, scroll through social media, respond to messages, attend meetings, and at the end of it all, they wonder why they feel like they didn't get anything meaningful done. The truth is, if you don't set the direction, life will decide it for you. And life doesn't care about your goals. It cares about your attention. That's why setting clear intentions is a non-negotiable daily action for anyone serious about growth. An intention is not a wish. It's not vague or passive. An intention is a powerful declaration of how you want to show up, what you want to create, and where you want to focus your energy. It's like giving your mind a blueprint for the day. Without that blueprint, your energy gets scattered. You get pulled into distractions, overwhelmed by other people's priorities, and you lose sight of what actually matters. But with a clear intention, you operate from a place of clarity. You know what you're about, you know what your outcome looks like. And more importantly, you know what to say yes to and what to walk away from. Intentions give your actions meaning. Anyone can be busy. Anyone can check things off a to-do list. But productivity without purpose is just movement. And movement doesn't always equal progress. Setting an intention at the start of your day, or even before a meeting, a conversation, a workout, shifts your mindset. You're not just going through the motions. You're aligning your actions with your deeper values. You're saying, this is who I am today. This is how I'm going to show up. This is the kind of energy I'm bringing into the world. Now, the key to setting powerful intentions is to be specific and honest. It's not about creating pressure or perfection. It's about clarity. You might set an intention like, today, I will stay focused on my top priority and I won't let distractions take me off course. Or, today, I will lead with confidence and kindness in every interaction. These aren't goals, they're guiding principles. They shape how you think, speak, act, and respond to challenges. They become your internal compass, especially when things get stressful or uncertain. It only takes a few moments to set an intention, but the impact is massive. When your mind knows what it's aiming for, it filters information differently. You start noticing opportunities. You start taking actions that align with your bigger vision. And when obstacles show up, and they will, you don't get thrown off as easily because your intention brings you back to center. It reminds you of your purpose. Another benefit of setting intentions is that it gives you control. Not control over the world or over other people, but control over yourself. You can't always control circumstances, but you can control your focus. You can choose how to respond. You can decide what kind of energy you want to bring into the room. And when you do that, you stop being a passenger in your life. You become the driver. You stop waiting for motivation or the perfect moment. You create the conditions for success from the inside out. And this practice is not limited to big life goals. It works in the everyday moments too. Whether it's working on a project, spending time with family, or just taking care of your health, when you move with intention, you move with power. You become more present, more effective, more aligned. You stop living by chance and you start living by choice. And when you repeat this every single day, your entire life begins to shift. Not because of one big decision, but because of 1,000 intentional ones stacked on top of each other. Feeding your mind with greatness is one of the most powerful habits you can build if you're serious about success. Just like your body needs the right fuel to perform at its best, your mind needs the right input to stay sharp, focused, and inspired. The world is full of noise, negativity, distractions, fear-based headlines, gossip, and opinions that don't serve your purpose. If you're not intentional about what you're feeding your mind, you'll end up consuming whatever's loudest, not whatever's best for you. And what you consume mentally over time becomes the way you think, feel, and act. Your thoughts shape your life. That's not just motivational talk. That's neuroscience. The thoughts you repeat become beliefs. Beliefs turn into habits. Habits define your actions, and your actions produce your results. So if you want to upgrade your life, you've got to start by upgrading your thinking. And to upgrade your thinking, you've got to be selective about what you allow into your mental space. That's where daily mental nutrition comes in. Reading books that challenge and inspire you, listening to podcasts that expand your mindset, watching videos that teach you new perspectives. These aren't just the nice-to-do activities. They're essential. They're how you rewire your brain for growth and resilience. Every time you feed your mind with greatness, you're building mental muscle. Just like going to the gym strengthens your body, exposing yourself to powerful ideas strengthens your focus, discipline, and confidence. Even 5 to 10 minutes a day of intentional learning can shift your mindset. You start thinking bigger. You start seeing solutions instead of problems. You begin to develop the habits of high achievers because you're learning how they think, how they operate, how they handle adversity. And that knowledge becomes part of your internal operating system. This habit also helps you stay grounded. Life is unpredictable. Challenges will come. You will face setbacks and people will doubt you. But when your mind is strong, when you've been feeding it daily with positive, empowering content, you don't break as easily. You bounce back faster. You think clearly under pressure. You remember who you are and what you're capable of. Greatness isn't just about what you do, it's about how you think. And your thinking is directly influenced by what you expose yourself to every single day. It's not enough to avoid negativity. You have to replace it with something better. You have to actively seek out voices, stories, and messages that remind you of your power, your purpose, and your potential. You don't have to wait until you feel motivated. You create motivation by immersing yourself in environments and content that lift you up. Over time, this becomes second nature. You reach for the audiobook instead of scrolling. You choose the mentor instead of the critic. And indulge the critic. You listen to insight instead of noise. And slowly but surely, you start thinking like the person you want to become. Taking focused action is where the real shift happens between dreaming and achieving. Ideas are everywhere. Motivation can come and go. But nothing changes until you move, until you execute, until you turn vision into motion. Focused action means you're not just doing things for the sake of being busy. You're doing the right things, the things that actually move you closer to your goals. It's not about being in motion all day. It's about being in motion on what matters most. Most of most. In a world full of distractions, staying focused is a superpower. There are notifications, emails, texts, conversations, and 1,000 ways to get pulled off course. And the truth is, success doesn't come to the most talented or the most educated. It comes to those who can stay locked in on a goal day after day while the world is trying to pull them in every other direction. Focused action requires clarity. You have to know what your priorities are. You have to get real about what actually moves the needle. Not everything that feels urgent is important. And if you spend your days reacting to everything around you, you'll end up building someone else's dream instead of your own. The key is to narrow your attention. Successful people don't try to do everything. They focus on a few key things and they do them with intensity. They create systems. They build routines. They know when to say no. Every day, you should have 1 or 2 clear priorities, things that, if completed, will make the day a win. And once you identify those, you protect them. You don't leave them up to chance or fit them in if there's time. You schedule them. You attack them. You build your day around them. And it's not just about working hard. It's about working smart. Focused action means you're intentional with your energy. You know when you're at your best, whether it's early morning, late at night, or midday, and you schedule your most important work during that time. You eliminate distractions. You turn off the noise. You train your brain to go deep, to inner flow, to resist the urge to multitask and chase dopamine. Every time you complete a focused block of action, you're building momentum. And momentum, more than anything else, is what separates winners from wishers. Consistency is the fuel. One day of focused action can make you feel productive, but consistent focused action over weeks and months is what leads to transformation. That's how skills get developed, businesses get built, bodies get reshaped, and lives get changed. The daily grind isn't always glamorous. It's often repetitive, but success isn't about excitement. It's about execution. It's about doing what needs to be done even when you don't feel like it. It's about trusting the process, staying patient, and knowing that small steps taken with focus lead to big breakthroughs over time. Taking focused action also builds confidence. The more you do what you say you're going to do, the more you trust yourself. The more you trust yourself, the more risks you're willing to take. Confidence doesn't come from just thinking positive. It comes from proving to yourself over and over that you are someone who follows through. Practicing gratitude daily is one of the simplest yet most transformative habits you can develop on the road to success. In a world that constantly tells you to want more, do more, be more, it's easy to overlook what you already have. But gratitude shifts your mindset. It grounds you. It reminds you that no matter where you are in your journey, there's already something good in your life. And when you recognize that goodness, you start to see more of it. Your focus shifts from what's lacking to what's working, from scarcity to abundance, from pressure to peace. Gratitude isn't just about saying thank you when something big happens. It's about training your mind to see the blessings in the small, everyday moments. The sunrise you caught on the way to work, the kind message from a friend, the fact that you have the strength to keep going. When you practice gratitude consistently, you build emotional resilience, you become harder to shake. Setbacks don't hit as hard because your perspective isn't tied only to outcomes, it's rooted in appreciation. And that kind of mindset is powerful, especially in a world where so much feels uncertain. Success isn't just about achievement, it's about fulfillment. And you can't feel fulfilled if you're constantly chasing without ever stopping to acknowledge how far you've come. Gratitude slows you down in the best way. It helps you pause, reflect, and celebrate progress. It reminds you that even in the middle of struggle, there's something valuable to be learned, something meaningful to hold on to. You start to realize that joy isn't waiting for you at the finish line. It's available in the present moment if you're willing to look for it. Another benefit of daily gratitude is how it strengthens relationships. When you regularly express appreciation to your family, your team, your friends, it builds trust and connection. People want to feel seen. They want to feel valued, and a simple, sincere thank you can go a long way. It creates an environment of positivity and mutual respect. Whether you're leading a team or building a brand or just trying to show up better in your life, gratitude improves the energy you bring into every room you enter. Gratitude also rewires your brain. Studies show that people who practice daily gratitude have lower stress, better sleep, and improved mental health. Your thoughts influence your emotions, and your emotions influence your actions. So when you start your day with gratitude, you're not just being nice, it's being nicer for better decision making, stronger relationships, and more consistent focus. You stop reacting from a place of fear or lack and start responding from a place of wholeness and clarity. The most powerful time to practice gratitude is in the morning or before bed. Just writing down 3 things you're thankful for, even if they're small, can shift your entire mood and mindset. Over time, this habit trains your brain to default to gratitude. You become the kind of person who sees the good even in the middle of chaos. And that kind of attitude attracts more of what you want into your life. Surrounding yourself with purpose-driven people is one of the most impactful choices you can make on the path to success. The people in your environment influence your mindset, your habits, your standards, and even your vision of what's possible. Energy is contagious, and if you're spending time with people who are complacent, negative, or stuck in a victim mentality, it's only a matter of time before that mindset starts rubbing off on you. But when you're around people who are focused, passionate, disciplined, and driven by a clear sense of purpose, it pulls you upward. It challenges you to grow. It forces you to elevate. Success is not a solo journey. No matter how talented or motivated you are, the people you surround yourself with will either accelerate your progress or slow it down. You need people who hold you accountable, who inspire you with their work ethic, who speak life into your goals even when you're doubting yourself. These are the people who remind you of your potential, who push you to raise your standards, who don't let you settle for average. They don't compete with you. They challenge you to become better. Purpose-driven people think differently. They're not just chasing money or recognition. They're aligned with something deeper. They're on a mission. And being around that kind of energy helps you stay locked into your own purpose. It helps you tune out distractions, resist short-term gratification, and stay connected to your bigger why. It also creates a sense of community. When you're surrounded by people who are hungry, humble, and focused, you feel supported. You don't feel like you're grinding alone. You feel like you're part of something bigger. This doesn't mean you cut everyone off or only associate with high achievers. It means being intentional about who you spend the most time with. It means evaluating the conversations you're having. Are they helping you grow or keeping you stuck? Are they about ideas and solutions or gossip and complaints? The quality of your circle often reflects the quality of your life. And when your circle is full of people who are committed to growth, contribution, and excellence, that influence becomes a part of your daily mindset. Sometimes changing your circle means stepping out of your comfort zone. It means reaching out to mentors, joining new communities, and letting go of relationships that no longer align with where you're headed. That can be uncomfortable, but it's necessary. You can't expect to live an extraordinary life while surrounding yourself with ordinary thinking. Growth requires alignment, and that means choosing to be around people who are headed in the same direction. Even if it's challenging at first, the people around you should mirror the values you're striving for. They should challenge you to improve, celebrate your wins, and call you out when you're slipping. And you should do the same for them. It's a mutual exchange of growth, not just a one-way street. Your environment is your responsibility. You get to choose who gets access to your time, your energy, and your vision.